Hi guys, my name is Mary Silvino. I am the Student Services and Educational Coordinator here at Savvy Services for the Blind. Today I'm going to discuss and talk about academics with my students and going from in-class lecture to moving to virtual and doing all their classes to online. Right now, I know there are students out there that feel very overwhelmed because they're encountering lots of things in the academia world where they are not used to doing classes on an online platform. Majority of students like to have in-class lectures. Some like it online. That's perfectly fine. But going online, there are a lot of barriers and a lot of inaccessibility issues that students encounter. Like for one example is it could even be as their textbook. Like if their textbook is an electronic format, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is fully accessible. Students that are blind that do use assistive technology, such as a screen reader, using JAWS or Zoom Text Fusion, NVDA. Those are all screen readers, but they read differently based on the software. That means that anything electronic needs to be tagged in a way for screen readers to identify what to read back to the student. So for example, if a worksheet was sent to a student on whatever online platform they're using, a lot of my students here in Arizona, they use D2L for school. So if an instructor were to post a worksheet and they're like, oh yeah, it's electronic, and the student goes to the worksheet in their D2L and it's a PDF. So meaning PDF is like it's an image on a picture or on a page, but there has to be some extra steps to make the PDF tagged where the screen reader is actually reading it, or it's able to read it back to the student in the way that a person visually would read it. Another inaccessible encounter or barrier that students are having is the online portals or the virtual classrooms are not accessible either, or not fully accessible. The way that Savvy has transitioned to online support and online tutoring is using Zoom. Our instructors and tutors use Zoom to connect with the student, to work on assignments, to work on reading materials, especially if it's inaccessible, to get into their virtual classrooms. There are ways to get into virtual classrooms. It's easy for someone who is visual and they're able to use their mouse and they're able to see where it says click here or click continue, click next to move to the next page. just to get to the classroom. And not all screen readers are able to read all those buttons or extra steps that you have to do to get into a classroom or a virtual classroom. Another way that we're helping students is that if they're in the classroom and the student is not able to read what the instructor or teacher is putting on the board or on the whiteboard, although they do advocate for themselves and they do ask the teacher to read what they're writing on the board, we have someone like what I call a virtual in-class assistant on Zoom with them, and the student is able to connect with their in-class assistant, and the assistant is able to read to the student what's on the board. It's a very creative way of providing support to our students. It's awesome to be able to use Zoom. Technology is always changing and making things for the better. But those are a couple of the ways that we've been working with students and helping them get through transitioning to online. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think another support for the students too would be, I know that they feel like they're disconnected, and I think this is a way for students to speak up for themselves, especially reaching out to their disability resource center at school, reaching out to their instructors, because it's really important to be able to communicate. Even for work in itself, I know that everybody has, or not everybody, most people, if they're able to, work is able to transition to online. And I would say it has been, it's been a lot of work and very overwhelming. But students know that they have Savvy and they have our team there to support them and be there for them. So if you have any questions or you would like to reach out to me, I'll put my description in the post, and I'll put my contact information, my email, and my phone number. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.